a fight broke out at the start of the Warriors Timberwolves game, which was surprising because fights normally don't break out at the start of the game. They usually happen later on in the game, but it's very rare you see a fight take place at the start of the game. But I think there was some emotions between both of these teams based off the previous game where there was words said by Anthony Edwards in which he taunted the Warriors. He took them to school and he embarrassed them. So I'm sure there was some sour feelings from that game. But what happened at the start of this game was, from what I watched in the replays, the Timberwolves had possession, and right underneath the basket, Klay Thompson, for whatever reason, decides to grab Jaden McDaniels' jersey from the top around the neck area, and he just starts pulling it, and he just won't let go. And Jaden McDaniels just gets fed up with it, and then starts pulling Klay Thompson's jersey. So they're kind of like in a tug of war where they're trying to get the better of each other. I don't know if they had some heated animosity towards each other based off of the previous game, but it's just really weird that they're just pulling each other's jerseys. They're trying to eventually take each other down, and it drags all the way beyond half court. But Klay, in my eyes, is the person who started the fight. He's basically the bitch in this exchange. He started it for no reason. I didn't get it. To me, it just didn't make any sense. But then again, Klay has always been a salty, bitch-ass guy. Despite being a very talented player, I definitely see him, probably a Hall of Famer. But at the same time, he's always been salty. But I think, for the most part, that's been covered up for years since the Warriors, for years, were a winning team, an elite team. So when you're winning, I always feel that your flaws are covered up and people don't pay attention to it. It's only when you start losing where it starts to get magnified. But I've always viewed Klay as a straight up punk ass bitch. So I'm not surprised by what he did. I think part of this is Klay is starting to get bitter about getting old. It's kind of like a woman who used to be attractive, but once she gets beyond 30, she starts to get bitter because she sees her looks are fading away. She's got some wrinkles, and you know how that goes. So Klay, to me, is just a punk. That's who he is. He's always been that type of guy, despite being legendary, talented two guard. So, yeah, he started the whole entire mess and ordeal. Things get interesting when Gobert steps in there and he tries to break it up. You see Draymond run out of nowhere and jump on his back and do a chokehold on him that seems straight out of like WWE, like he was auditioning for like WWE Monday Night Raw or something. That was also a dirty, cheap play by Draymond, but it's not surprising. We're all used to seeing him do dirty stuff. He's done this for years, whether it's knocking out his own teammates, taking cheap shots at other opponents. He's a straight up dirty piece of shit. He's a thug. He's a straight up thug. So I'm not surprised he did this. It doesn't shock me at all. But if you're Gobert, you have to feel embarrassed by this, even though Gobert really couldn't defend himself from this. He got him from the back. But it still has to feel embarrassing because Draymond has had a history of punking Gobert for years and years and years. That he's always embarrassed him. He's talked trash about him. He's mocked him through the media. He's put him down. And he's also thrown cheap shots at him on the court. So it's been both ways. And Gobert has never really done anything about it. He's never struck him back or retaliated back with some cheap shots of his own. And this is what happens when you allow someone to punk you. They won't stop. They'll continue to do it. So I would say the ball is now in Gobert's court. He should definitely retaliate against Draymond the next time he sees him. He needs to get him back for what he did to him, because that was a straight up dirty play. He choked the hell out of him. I didn't think for a second that Gobert would survive the chokehold. That's how bad it was. Dude looked like he was grasping for air, just literally like he was trying to breathe through it. So you definitely gotta strike him back. He definitely deserves a beatdown. Gobert should take him out on a cheap shot or smash his face with an elbow or something. Take him out Karl Malone style or something. Just do anything. You gotta fight back in this situation. I know that's bad for me to say, but I do believe violence is the answer when it comes to dealing with bullies. That you need to strike back, and hopefully he does. The league should suspend Draymond at least five games for his chokehold. I would say 10, but they're definitely not going to give him 10 because they've always allowed him to get away with stuff. But at least a minimum of 5 to punish him for that. That was just totally reckless and and disgusting to see. So we'll see what happens, but I feel Gobert's manhood is on trial the next time he plays Draymond. He definitely needs to retaliate, so we'll see what happens.